You have somebody in your life that if I were to say their name, it'd be a little bit of a in the pit of your stomach. There'd be a little bit of, I don't like that person. That could beat them with a microphone. Or something larger, heavier, and more blunt. There's something going on inside of you that is not forgiving that person, and it will be a distraction to you. Remember when I was on the road? Our last tour, we hired this girl. She could sing pretty well. One of the things we did on the road was we trained people to give their personal testimonies up front, their stories with God, what God's done in their life. And she got up, and we were doing youth ministry. We got done at this event. It was the first event we did. And the kids kind of responded to her going, we think maybe she needs to be sitting here. Because that really seemed to be about almost like a diatribe against her dad. And we think maybe something's really there. Her entire witness was hampered in one way by the fact she was still dealing with bitterness of her dad. My friends, if you have bitterness, you are holding poison inside yourself. You're drinking Clorox. Bitterness doesn't hurt the other person. They may not even know you're still bitter, but it churns and festers, prevents you from entering into your relationship with God and other people as you hang on to bitterness, to misunderstandings, to frustrations with someone else. Why is it that our forgiveness is conditional? Because until you face your own brokenness and depravity, you can't forgive someone else because you end up feeling superior, going, oh, yes, bless them. You wouldn't believe what they did. When you face your own brokenness, then you can forgive someone else because you go, yeah, I can forgive you because I'm pretty messed up too. You know the hardest time it is to forgive your spouse or to come to a resolution during times of intense marital fellowship is when you really think they're wrong. And you think that they're wrong and probably a little bit stupid because they actually feel the way that they do. It is not until you come to your own brokenness with them going, yeah, I have had that misunderstanding. I have been misunderstood myself. I can forgive you. Then you restore a relationship. God says you can't even ask me for forgiveness until you come to a point of realizing how broken you are. And when you realize how broken you are, you can accept someone else. You can forgive them. The fact that Jesus uses this word get is really profound. Because if Cherie gets into a conflict with Dottie, because Dottie is one of those conflict kind of prone people. And Dottie says, or Cherie says, Dottie says something to Cherie. I forgot Cherie. Dottie says something to Cherie, and it's cutting. It tears her up. Okay. Now there is a debt in her heart, in her soul, that has been taken by Dottie. And a couple things have happened. One is more than likely, when we've been hurt by other people in that way, we have put something on them that we should have never put on them to begin with. We put some of our identity onto them, so when they cut us, it wasn't just like, wow, they're rude. It was, ow, they're rude, and that just cut me. Why? Because we put the place of God on them going, here, make me feel good about myself, Dottie. So when Dottie doesn't, then I'm like, well, okay? That debt that Dottie took against Cherie, there's nothing that Dottie can do to fix it. She can come and go, I'm sorry. Oh, that made it all better. You had that moment, so like, I'm sorry. And you're like, yeah, I bet you are. And you ought to be, because you have no idea how much that hurt me. Bitter, are we? Yes, yes I am. Shut up. So it's not until Cherie says, you know what, Dottie, you hurt me, but I understand that I am broken too, and I've done that, and I will pay for that emotional pain myself and ask Jesus to fill that place, and I'll no longer ask you to fill it. That there can be forgiveness. So now you all good. Great conflict in church. Now here's the thing. When you forgive someone, that does not mean you're entering back into a relationship with them. Two big, deep theological words. Go to frameworks and learn more about them. Called propitiation and justification. Propitiation is the fact, we talked about it here several times, that the wrath of God for all of sin fell on Christ. Justification is the word when you say, God, I want that on me to cover me because I'm a sinner. In other words, God forgives everyone, but not all of us accept it. Not all of us say, hey, you know what, I'm a sinner. And so if Dottie does not, Cherie can forgive Dottie without Dottie asking for it, but that doesn't mean they're going to enter back into the relationship, because until Dottie goes, wow, I really am a jerk, and I really hurt you, and I'm really sorry, can you enter back into a relationship? Otherwise, what you've entered into is abuse. You said, oh, I've forgiven you, and Dottie, meanwhile, is happily going around hitting people all over the place. You're so violent and rude. It's apparent to the family. They fall far from the, Joel, Dottie's son. So until she repents to you and says, hey, I've broken a relationship. I've hurt you, Cherie. What I did was inappropriate. It was wrong. It was hurtful. Then they can enter back into a relationship. But Cherie can forgive even without them going back into a relationship. You understand the difference between those two things? They're profound. They're biblical. But they're really important, because sometimes as Christians we think we need to be a doormat. Hit me. Okay. Turn the other cheek. Hit me. Okay. I like it so much. Do it again. Is there power? Did Christ say to turn the other cheek? Absolutely. That's a whole other sermon. I'm talking about that. When I'm talking about being in a relationship, forgiveness, you can forgive without entering into a relationship. The final thing is about forgiveness that I think is really important is when God forgives, He forgives infinitely, because He knows the ramifications of your action. Okay? He knows the ramification of every act that you're going to have. When you forgive, you don't know about it. So apparently I'm picking on the problem of my family. We're coming down to Cindy now.
All right.
Cindy's got a wonderful daughter named Emily. Not wrong on that. Okay. So let's say that I get drunk. And I'm driving. And I plow Emily down. Okay? And I take Emily's life. I can go to Cindy and say, Cindy, would you forgive me? And Cindy, through the power of the Holy Spirit, might forgive me. Ed, on the other hand, Dad's indifferent. Okay, so Cindy's forgiven me. And we just got married a few months ago. And in a couple of years, when all of Evelyn's friends have now got kids, and all of Cindy's friends have grandkids, and Cindy doesn't, there will be a pain that she can't forgive me for now, because she can't imagine what it's like to be living with her friends and them all talking about grandkids and showing pictures from their daughters.